Erik Tenhag looks like he's one of the best students from his mistakes like he did last summer, because he told the board of United, don't sign any player until you deliver Frankie de Jong here. It took us close to 1.5 months to sign our first signing, that was Malacia from Feyenoord at £13 million. This time round, he has gone ahead to change the tone, and the tone is really giving us a different sound of together, and the sound is get me 2 players before June comes to an end. And that has led us to be leading the race of Rabiot because he's a free agent. Declan Rice in the mix. Mason Mount is one of those. Then there is a story of Casemiro coming out and obviously issuing a statement that has gone ahead to sum up the season of Man United, and it's really a statement that gives us lots of hopes as far as next season is really concerned. Welcome to United Matters channel. Rock and David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I hope you guys are really enjoying the marathon, 3rd video of the day, and more 1 or 2 are really coming in through very, very soon. Now, today I woke up on this story and I really got to know that Adrien Rabiot has gone ahead to learn from his mistakes. Now, Tenhag has gone ahead and really told the Athletic, or the Athletic have gone ahead to get a story concerning Erik Tenhag, and they've been told that Man United plan to sign 2 players early in the window to ensure they are ready to join up for pre-season. Mason Mount is one of them. Now, this is something that every elite manager should be doing, and elite manager, elite team. Erik Tenhag has gone ahead to really understand that he made a very huge mistake when he came in through as the manager of Manchester United in June last year, when he told the board that please, let's first get the deal of Frankie de Jong out of the way. This really took long to an extent that we went to the pre-season with only 1 signing, that was Tyrell Malacia. The rest of the players that came in through came in through towards the end of the preseason. That is Lisandro Martinez and Eriksson. Obviously, they came in through towards the end of the preseason, and the players were flying from Melbourne to Manchester. Then Casemiro came in later, and we summed up our summer transfer window with Anthony from Ajax. So Ten Hag has gone ahead to learn from his mistakes. But Mason Mount being one of those that we are chasing, that's a given. And right now we are only having £100 million to spend. If we chop £50 million off that amount of money, then that means we are left with £50 million to spend, and that will call in for Erik Ten Hag to go in for a player on a free signing. Trust me, as we signed Eriksson on a free, we have to sign a player on a free transfer this summer. Why? The financial muscle of United cannot allow us to sign close to 5 players when we don't have a player on a free. If at all you are going in for 2 midfielders, if you are to say money, if it's Declan Rice, £80 million to 100, Mason Mount, £50 million, that is £130 million. When you add on a striker that is going to cost United close to £100 million, that is £230 million. Add on Kim Min-jae, £45 to £50 million, 280. Add on a goalkeeper like 20, you know, we need £300 million. Is that money available? The much that we can spend is £200 million, and that's why I've gone ahead to believe in the story of Gazzetti coming in from Italy that United are leading the race to sign Rabiot on a free transfer. I cannot really rubbish this story. Fabrizio Romano has come out and really confirmed to us that United is really holding talks with Rabiot and they want to sign him as a free agent. And Gazzetta from Italy confirmed to us that United lead the race to sign Adrien Rabiot as a free agent. Trust me, as I've always told you, that lots of things are really coming in through here at Man United. We need to sign in players as free agents ASAP, and if at all we don't do that, then we are going to find ourselves in a situation of obviously not getting the players that we deserve. I understand some people are really saying that why do we really get in a player on a free like Rabiot? Guys, Rabiot is a very decent player. He's a very decent player. That's why teams like Barcelona, Bayern Munich are really looking at him. When you look at players that have gone ahead to cross on a free, it's not because that they are not really good. They are good players. For your information, Juventus wanted to offer him a new contract and he turned it down himself. So he turned it down because he really looked like he doesn't want to be at Juventus anymore. They couldn't offer him the amount of money he wanted. That is it at a Juventus, and we are supposed to sign him, by the way, in the summer, but we failed to come to an agreement on the amount of money he's supposed to earn. But right now, the negotiations will swell up because United is knowing they're signing a free agent, but they had to first pay close to 18 million pounds to Juventus because the player was left with his contract. Then they go on to agree a deal that could see him earn close to 10 million pounds a year. But right now, if I told you to get in Rabiot, you can get him like 5 million pounds sign-on fee. Then you can give him a deal that amounts to that amount of money. I don't believe that he's far away off from the Asensio demands. Asensio demands where I want 10 million euros a year. That is it. So I think Rabiot is really a very good signing. If at all we can land him early enough. These are players we should get out of the way as soon as possible. That's it. I understand there is the takeover delay, but it looks like Tenhag and the board of United have concentrated on signing in players. As we are really going hard on Mason Mount, I would like to see us going hard on Rabiot. Let's get Rabiot in, and he should be one of those players that we should go with to the pre-season in America. Because if you get in Rabiot and Mason Mount first, that means you've created space to really sell Scott McTominay and Fred. Those two have to leave. That's it. Those two have to leave because that means they are not going to be having any playing time and space to fit into that team of Man United. What does that mean? Rabiot, Casemiro, then Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Eriksson, a 5-man midfield. If I told you Donny van de Beek is another one that coming through and really make the tally 6. So I understand the situation in which we are into as Man United, but we need to get these deals out of the way. So that is Rabiot for you. We are leading the Rabiot race, and I would love to see him coming through and playing that double pivot with Casemiro because he offers a lot. Trust me, Rabiot is better than Mason Mount. And I've seen some people lying to themselves that Mason Mount is better than Sabitzer. Shame upon you. People, learn to respect talent and learn to respect a player who has never played in the Premier League, comes in through in the January transfer window to play those games that he played and was looking beautiful like that. I leave this message to you, to all those thinking that Mason Mount is better than Sabitzer. Imagine Sabitzer getting a full preseason with Man United and obviously gets into that team. Do you know how better he will look? So don't even really distort my evening. You can't say Mount is better than Sabitzer. To what extent? Do you know the quality of Sabitzer? Sabitzer is really a very quality player that he had dropped off because of not playing at Bayern Munich. But if at all you saw his levels at Man United, before he got that injury, he had even got into the starting 11 of Man United. Yet Casemiro was around, Eriksson was around, Bruno Fernandes was around, and he could go straight into that team, and he benched Fred down there for you. Now, let's go to the Declan Rice story that has been reported to us by The Athletic again concerning the midfield situation of Man United. Man United have long tracked Declan Rice, but their recruitment staff failed to form a consensus about a move previously. They are keeping abreast of the situation, but the fee / Tenhag's priority lying elsewhere mean a turnaround is required for a formal approach. So this is something that I really expected, and I'm happy to see to it that the situation is abreast, because you cannot tell me that we can go in for Declan Rice. For what reason? What is the reason? One will give me that United should sign Declan Rice. If you have that money to spend, let's spend it on players like Moise Caicedo. I'd rather get in a Lavia than Declan Rice. Declan Rice is overrated. That's it. He's overrated. There are midfielders that you see that are really quality and really nearing top class. I understand he's being given all the props by the English media. I've seen media journalists saying it everywhere, but I wouldn't welcome him at Manchester United. If you tell me that Declan Rice is going in for 50 million pounds I'll pay that amount of money happily. But £100 million for Declan Rice, why should I go that north of the asking price of West Ham? That's why you see to it that a team like Arsenal that is going in for him, it's having lots of people in the midfield. They're having Jorginho, they're having Thomas Partey, and they're having El Nini, who can come in through and get the job done in those positions. That's it. So, a team like Man United that really lacks depth in the midfield cannot spend £100 million onto a midfielder like Declan Rice. You know, this takes me back to where I started this video from. Tenhag wanting 2 players before the end of June means we should sign one for money and one for free. If you are to sign Declan Rice and Mason Mount, that is £150 million. Add on £100 million for the striker, 250. Add on Kim Min-jae's money, £300 million. Do we have £300 million to spend this summer? I doubt. I think the best we can hit is £200 million. And how can we best spend £200 million to really reach the levels that Erik Ten Hag wants to really get in talent that he wants? £100 million on a centre forward, £50 million on Mason Mount, you know, £50 million on Kim Min-jae, getting in Rabiot as a free agent. That's it. I think that's the best way we can spend that money to see to it that we fulfill the demands of Erik Ten Hag this summer. You know, Rome was not built in one day. You know, you get in Rabiot, 28. What's the age of Rabiot? Let me check here. Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot is 28 years of age, you know. And 28 years of age, if at all he goes ahead to come in through and obviously give us some 4 seasons at Man United, and he leaves at the age of 32, that won't be bad for us because quality is not reached at its tip at once. Let no one lie to you. Man City, you know, people go ahead to really relate so much on Man City. If you remember Man City, they once had Gareth Barry in that midfield. They once had Neil de Jong, you know. They had there is another midfielder they had. Then they went ahead to upgrade and brought in Yaya Toure. Then they brought in David Silva, you know. They brought in Fernandinho. Then later, they brought in Rodri. They've brought in Kevin De Bruyne. They brought in Ilkay Gundogan. So that midfield of Man City never reached where it is in a blue or in a night. You know, it took years. So getting in quality of Rabiot just shows us that next time, if at all you are getting in a midfielder, he should be better than Rabiot. And that's how teams elevate. You know, a team growing to success, it's a process. It's not a one-day night wonder. No way. It cannot happen that way. So let's first upgrade. Let's all admit that Rabiot and Mason Mount are upgrades for Fred and Scott McTominay. So after getting in those, then next season we can get in another world-class midfielder. That's it. The other season we get in another one. That's how you build a team of elite players, because you cannot go all out and sign world-class players at once. You know, you cannot sign Casemiro, Varane, Rashford, Lisandro Martinez in the same season. You can't. You'll need close to £500 million to spend. So to me, I believe this deal of Rabiot should be get out of the way, and Declan Rice is one of those I don't really fancy to come to Man United. Overrated, and he's really expensive. That's it. £50 million, I do the deal of Declan Rice. That's it. And if at all you go into for that deal of Declan Rice, it's going to cause a bidding war, and it's going to be hard for us to get him. He wants to stay in London. If at all Arsenal match the fee that West Ham is calling in for, however much you also go in and pay the same amount of money, the player will side with Arsenal, not Man United. Then Casemiro has come out and really issued his season-ending statement via his Twitter. He said, "Thank you all for this first season, and above all for your love towards my family and towards me. I feel at home. I read you and I hear everyone say that United is back, but this is only the beginning of our journey." You know, every beginning of a journey starts with one step. We understand this time around we're going to head to more very many steps apart. We've gone ahead to meet to more very many steps concerning the ones we're supposed to meet, the ones supposed to really move towards the start of the season, because most of us never gave United a chance to achieve what's going to head to achieve this season. But as it stands, we are really a team that is going to head to put in more and more and more effort that everyone is really appreciating as for the club of Man United. But he's telling us that this is just the beginning. And the fact is, we are back. You know, I've seen the manager of Man City saying that United are back. You see, pundits have gone ahead to commit that we are back. And even Casemiro is going ahead to tell us that we are back, but it's just the beginning. The greatness of this club and this midfield and this shield must force us to demand more of ourselves, much more. Here, defeat is not acceptable, and the glory days must return. For that I have come. Come on, United. Glory days must return. Defeat is not acceptable at Man United. That is what Casemiro is going to hate to let us know. And I think if we can really keep the fortress, if at all we can keep Old Trafford the fortress it has been this season, and obviously win almost all our 19 games at home, and then we extend that away from home and win close to 13 games away from home, those are like 40 points. Add them to the 54 points. If at all we draw like one game, 54 points. That is already 54, because 18 times 3, I'm calling for 18 wins at home, times 3, that is 54. Then collect 40 points away from home, those are 94 points. If you gather 94 points, you are into the title race, and that's what he's talking about. If we keep Old Trafford the fortress it has been this season, you know, and then we go away from home and collect some good points, like win out of the 19 games you're going to play away from home, win 13. Enough. 94, you are into the title race. Meaning that if you respect City and think that City can beat us from their place, Liverpool can, you know, even Arsenal, those are 3 games, you know, take off 6 losses away from home. Not bad. You know, you remain with 40 points. So to me, I think Casemiro is really a leader, and you hear the vigor he talks with. It shows you that this man is a different specimen altogether, and winning is what his mind is all about, and is obsessed with winning. If at all you can get in more players like those in the club of Man United, then we are going to find ourselves in a position of being triumphant season in, season out. So guys, your thoughts on United leading the Rabiot race are welcome in the comment section below. Rice to Man United. United look like they are not giving it a very huge go. And lastly, what do you think about Casemiro coming in through and obviously hinting onto United being a team that has to see its glory days return, and defeat is not acceptable, and he has told us that what you've seen this season, it's just the beginning. More is yet left in his locker, and his tank is full for much more. A sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God see you through the night and bless you for the entire days you are going to stay alive on this planet Earth. Ciao, ciao.